Okay, hi you guys. How are you? Wow, this has just been a very peculiar energy with this new moon in Libra. And I'm so happy that we're all here together in our forest, our space that is safe. I'm very happy to hear you guys, to see you guys. I know it is a very heavy time and a lot of sadness with what's happening at the White House in the East Wing. And we will get to that. We need to do an exercise for that. So this is the new moon Libra, which was actually 2 days ago. Or was it? Yeah. What day is today? Anyway, I believe it was on Monday. Today is Wednesday. Yes. And there are a lot of things shifting in the air. Primarily, we have Saturn that moved back into Pisces. So I wanted to address some issues there. But usually what we do with our new moon is we write collective wishes. And with this new moon in Libra, you're going to be surprised at all the themes that we're going to touch upon that are so Libra, but also help us so much in where we are right now. So, having said all that, welcome to Quiet Like the Forest, formerly Queen's Tarot. Let me say hello to you guys. Okay, so hello Jenny Wells. She says she is heartsick because of the distraction with the White House. Agreed. Apple was disappointed Tuesday. Geez, nothing but bad happens every darn day. It's getting harder and harder to find the good news. Did you happen to see Ukraine launch all those massive attacks on the Russia? Holy cow. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Marie. Marie's beyond lunacy. I've run out of adjectives and I'm beyond reactions to all the insanity. Yeah, it all just has to play out. He, is very injured by the No King's March. Very injured. And I kind of feel like this is I'm going to show you type of feel. Even though he said he wouldn't destroy the East Wing, nothing was going to happen there. I think he obviously left the door open to how things were going. And so that's what we're witnessing right now. Oh, Caroline, just lovely to be back with you all, listening to Mark Carney, yay, speech. We're putting our trading eggs in a range of new baskets to avoid vulnerabilities caused by Don Julio. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Delphian, the funding for some federal courts are running dry, no wonder. Oh boy. Totally aghast at the economic policy and cruel economic policies designed to starve and kill. Yeah, that's Venus and Mars are acting right now. Okay. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Robin. Hi, Lady. Moonchild. Charlie C. Jules Ever After. When the AF is this going to end? I don't know. I wish I had a date for you guys. Hi, Brenda. Cynthia. Marie, Free Spirit, Renee. I cannot keep the day straight to say me. I thought it was Thursday for most of the day. Right? I was having that as well. Hi, JC and Denise. Okay. So, where even do we begin? So we are in this new moon Libra. Libra has everything to do with the scales of justice, fairness, equity. We have our beautiful Statue of Liberty, which she symbolizes that so much. And, all those memes that come out with Don Julio, grab him by the and that's what he's doing to Lady Liberty. That is such an accurate descriptor in obviously how he feels and the problem he has with liberty, equity, fairness. But remember, he and Putz share a very critical point. USA Saturn is 14 degrees Libra. It's in the skies. It's in the 10th house in the skies for everyone to know. We have been known for our democracy and fairness and equity and listening and diplomacy. But Putz, his sun is here. And then Don Julio has his Chiron there, which is the wound. Democracy wounds him. It is his deepest wound that he is trying to heal. And he's doing it in this regard because he also has his asteroid Juno at the same place, which is marriage. So it's like the only way he can heal this wound is with a partner, and that is Putz bearing down on USA Saturn. I mean, if you go back and think about how compromised the GOP have been, how they've behaved so unfair. I mean, going back to from when Obama was elected, 2008, 2009, that's about the time when they started being really compromised. So I always think of our scales of justice when we think of unfairness in courts and SCOTUS. It, in my mind's eye, goes straight to Putz and the Russia. That's how long this has been going on. And I am not surprised at all, actually, because Putz is so entertained by what's happening with our East Wing. Donald's going to do even more. He's going to do even more. And we're all left standing here aghast, mouth wide open, tears. It's a gut punch. It is such unbelievable pain. And it is painful for the globe and the world and our allies and our friends. They have been there. They know what it symbolizes. They know, what has taken place there. The whole world feels this pain. And as I've always said, with us being on the left, it's not until things get too painful for those on the right that they have to act. And that's in the space that we're sitting in right now. Okay. Gail, do I still have an account on Twitter? Yes. My account is at Z_tarot on the jitter. Okay? Okay, let me get a drink of water. And so, what we've also been noticing, at least I've been noticing, there are so many more on the right, the MAGA, who are so upset with the situation that we're in, from the tariffs to bailing out Argentina and Israel. There is a ferocity out there that is finally starting to break through on the right, which is good news. But like I've been saying, it's until everybody is feeling this pain, will something happen. The other thing, that the other space, is that the government is shut down, obviously, and they have no intention to reopen it because of the Arizona representative that needs to be sworn in. We're really at we're at a moment. We are at a moment, and there's significant damage being done, ongoing damage, and now it's the physical the physical symptom of it. It is really, really difficult. So as we are all here in our forest, I just want you to just clear your brain, clear your mind. I just want you to, there's such a scattered energy all around us. There's such a confused energy. There's such like pandemonium. I mean, can you guys just feel it reeling around and whizzing around in your brain? We need to get that out, because as we watch media and we're on our devices, that information is coming straight into the center of your brain. When you think of it, where your eyes are, right behind there, you have the center of your brain, which is responsible for like everything coming at you and how you're sorting out the information. And it's really fueling the panic, okay? I've been noticing when I've been on my device and I look up, I'm like, wow, does this look different? And when I notice those things, that's like when, they're augmenting their psyops and influence ops and everything that they are doing. So we just need to take a moment here, and can we just please be still? We're just going to be still. We're just going to let all this stuff settle. There's nothing we can do about it right now. We need to get in a space, recognizing how you're feeling, angry, distraught, betrayed, feeling unsafe. Yes, we're feeling all those feelings. What I would like to ask you to do is to acknowledge those feelings, but sit in a space and not feel the agony of them, okay? To not engage in the debilitation of those feelings. They're awful, but let's just kind of like separate ourselves from that a bit and just let that all melt around you. There is nothing we can do right now. We are going to try to do some things here in this session tonight, but the most important thing is our health, our clarity of mind, our thoughts and ideas, and to be in touch with what is true and not true, what's real, what is not real. And when this stuff happens, it's like a free-for-all, and we stop focusing on the things that really matter, meaning the things that we really can do something about. And yes, it does feel like a death. And that death, we are going to look at it with the White House and not agonize over it, but just sit with those feelings and let them move throughout, okay? And so what I want you to do in this space, let's put a nice white light in the center of your chest. Just put it into the center of your chest. And I just want you to start pushing it outward to the front of your body, the back of your body, towards the top of your body, to the bottom of your body, and just keep sending it out. There is infinite light here. You don't have to skimp on any places. Okay, so we're just going to keep pushing that out into your upper body, lower body, and feeling really centered and pushing that out into your aura. And now your aura, it's like your bubble. We're going to make that white light your shield, that nothing can penetrate that, okay? You are safe right now. We're going to think of your aura, the edges of your aura, and having it kind of crystallized, but light can still come in and out. But this is your safe space, and this white light is your shield. It is your shield. Now, when we think about the space, the room that you're in, push that light out more. Keep pushing it out. And you're going to push it out down your street. You're going to push it out through your neighborhood. That white light is a shield. We're going to push it out more to your community and your state. And you're going to push it out even more so to our entire nation. And you're going to push it out to the White House. And you're going to push it out everywhere. But this light is your shield. And in that light, we are going to anchor our future. He doesn't get to decide. We are anchoring our future, our shield, our protection for our nation, for our people, for our allies. This is who we truly are. We are going to anchor that down into the ground, far below the White House and far into Washington, D.C., because there's a lot of inequity going on there. So everywhere we are feeling inequity, we are feeling unfairness, we're going to anchor our white lights in those spaces because we're there first. And from those spaces, collectively, we are going to write new moon intentions, and they are going to be based in all the Libra good, because that white light, that light has gotten snuffed. and we want to rebuild it. We've been to hell and back. We've been through all these crazy transits since 2020. I mean, it's a miracle that we're even alive in our physical bodies, but America is reborn, and we are shining that white light to those spaces of being reborn. They shield all of us, and that's the space that we're going to grow from. And we're going to spread our white light to our allies in North America, to the north, to the south, our hemisphere, and around the world. And inviting everyone else to take their pain. The world is feeling a lot of sorrow about this, but allowing their wishes for recovery for the United States to be there too, with our white lights. And with that light that we're grounding in Washington, D.C., to be one of teamwork and getting the team going again. Okay, so you can come back and do this meditation later and bring all that white back into you. Protect your bubble, your shield, and now you're just going to push it to the center of the earth below you. Stay connected and come back to your room and be in this space. You are shielded. You are safe. Regardless of what you are seeing, you have work ahead of you, and that's where we're going to keep our eyes on the prize. Okay? Okay. Hi, you guys. Okay, you guys get back into your space. Okay. Okay. You guys feel a lot calmer to me, a lot clearer. If this is something that benefited you, I hope that we in our forest here with our white lights, we are rooted deeply together. Take this with you. Put it in your pocket, and it's your touchstone. And you can we can all come back to our creative space right here together and get through this. Okay? Caroline, that was magical. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Okay, and I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know what it is. I've got Taylor Swift screaming in my head again. Oh my goodness, this happened last week. Okay, so we're going to push that to the side, and we are going to get back to this new moon. Okay, so there's a lot happening with this new moon in Libra. I think last time, I can't even remember them now, but I think it was related to the full moon. I think it was our lunar eclipse. Yes, because we're coming into that. I was trying to describe a couple weeks ago all the layers that were involved with that eclipse itself. Okay? And even though this is a new moon Libra, it's at the final degrees. It's like an anaretic degree. This is the final thing, the final showdown for this Libra working so hard for us. But it's like part of her has woken up from our eclipse from March 29th. And that's where we're going to go because it is everywhere. Okay, there was something else I wanted to tell you guys. Okay, and I will just mention right now, November is really, really messy. Please. Here, we're going to write this down together because this is when I assign homework, and we're going to write it together. We are in this white light together, you guys. I am going to interject our new moon's wishes here and there. But we're just going to start off with, I want to coast through November. I want to easily finish my stuff by, let's just say, election day. I want to see the signs of where I need to pivot my attention. There's another aspect that is happening that's just it's not getting a lot of airtime because it's just been way too comfortable. It's this sextile that we're having. It's a really nice, pleasant angle. It's between Uranus and Gemini. And, well, Saturn, Neptune. And it's like, sextiles are very comfortable. And these points are opposing each other, whereas you have Neptune that's very spiritual and likes to dissolve things and be united. We have Uranus in Gemini that is very much about the ego and innovation and the self. And so it's kind of like we're all on this continuum of being like a spiritual warrior and being the innovative one taking charge and just believes that they're right with their ideas no matter what. It's very much ego-based. But the thing is, this aspect, if you're feeling called to something that you haven't done and you're not totally sure, but you're like, it sounds like a good idea, but then like a couple days later, you're like, why did I get into this? You need to go there. This is where the opportunities are. When we get into these comfortable sextiles, it's like we get so comfy, we don't take any risks, and we like miss our manifestation. Like it's like, I'm just going to stay in instead of going to a party. And what if at that party was like someone you were destined to meet, so to speak? We need to get out of our comfort zone, even if comfort zone is withdrawing from fear. We need to get back in the game. So I need to pivot my attention. I want balance in my activities socially and privately. So I want to coast through November in Mercury retrograde. I want to easily finish my stuff by election day. I want to see the signs of where I need to pivot my attention. I want balance in my activities socially and privately, and be open to changes. Because the United States, we have changed. We had our the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in 2020. We had the Saturn-Jupiter in 2020. We had USA-Pluto return in 2022. And all of them pointed to radical transformation, radical change. And that is what this East Wing, get your shield on, your white light. That's what this East Wing, it's like that Plutonian energy has broken through and filtered down to our DC and our majestic White House, okay? It is finally filtered down. And so Pluto, Scorpio is a sign that lays down the gauntlet. This is what this kind of feels to me with what's going on in the East Wing, laying down the gauntlet. And we have Mercury and Mars in Scorpio, where everyone is having a good look. Everyone sees what's going on here. Everyone is seeing things a lot more clearly than they were back March 29th, and our new moon solar eclipse in Aries. Venus, our values, our scales of justice, our diplomacy was opposite that eclipse on March 29th. That also pulled in the Great Recession in 08, 09. It pulled in EPSI on all those financial levels. They can't get rid of this. But, so anyway, at this new moon Libra, this Venus over the skies of Washington, D.C. is staring back at that eclipse. And it's saying, what are we doing here? This is in the skies for everyone over Washington, D.C. Everybody is looking in horror at what is happening. Okay, let me see. How are you guys doing? Hi, Val. Or, I know. Now it's in the Pacific. The Caribbean and the Pacific. Yeah, he manufactured that in the Caribbean. Yes, it will be built again. It will be built again. And we have all planted our energies there on how we want it to be rebuilt. And again, like J6, this is how Don Julio is leaving his mark for U.S. history. But it's also about what we're never, ever, ever going to do again. I'm so sorry, Electra. Okay. Where do we want to go now? Let's... I have had some interesting visions, you guys. Let me update you on the flag vision that I had. Okay, now I got to figure out where I start. After he was inaugurated, like in the spring, I would see our flag, and then it looked like it was put in like this rectangular Pyrex glass baking dish, and it was just sitting there, and it had clear water over it. Then over time, the water got gross and dark, and then you couldn't see the flag. And I think when it was underwater like that, it's like you could see like the pencil outlines of what our flag looked like. And then it got to the point where, I can't remember all this, but it got to the point where then there was like this heavy mud on it, and each corner had a stake in the ground, and it was being pulled by ropes at each corner. But the thing is that these ropes were pulling so hard that the flag, it was like the ropes finally broke. And now this crusty stuff that's been on the flag, it turned from brown to black, and it kind of reminded me of kind of crusty, like a lava field. And so now the flag is totally covered. And then the crusty lava was shrinking, and it was getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I was starting to be able to see the edges of the flag, but I was seeing blue. Wasn't seeing like the red, but I was seeing blue. You know, blue means union with our flag. And so then that piece, it turned into like a piece of charcoal just sitting in the middle of this flag, because now I can see the flag, and it's like dirty, but now there's this piece of charcoal in the center. And I think last time I was talking with you guys, it was like I could see there was like a space between the flag and this charcoal. It was like someone like was there like pushing their legs out, creating space. But there was space, and there was light coming in, and I could see the colors of the flag when it was like that. Well, then we had that meeting happened with the generals, and right when that happened, it was like the flag and this piece of crust smashed the person inside, like vacuum sealed, and it was like there was no way to move at all. Looking around, trying to get some movement, and nothing, and total isolation, and it was dark, and I'm like, crap. Well, today I'm thinking about that, and maybe it goes hand in hand with the other visions, but I'm thinking about that, and it's like, oh, the flag is big, it's not crusty, it's like this crusty lava stuff is now malleable and it moves. It's kind of like almost like silty mud. But that person who was smashed in the between the flag and that crud, it's like all of a sudden it opened it up and it was this really kind of like big room. And I was like, it seems dark in here. But then I noticed there was a crack above with sunlight. And this person is just kind of sitting there like tossing this ball, waiting for something. And you could feel that there were other people in the area. And this was a really big space. And that's where I'm going to leave it there because there is a lot of symbolism there. I will also tell you that all of a sudden, like in the past week, see, this is why I wonder if they go hand in hand. From that meeting with the generals, all of a sudden, I think, was it last week? All of a sudden, it was like I heard like rifles like being put in position and like, you know how they makes kind of like that sound of like, I don't know anything about guns, you guys, but it's like all these guns, these rifles are in position. I'm like looking at the faces and these are the generals. They've got their eye on something. They're ready to shoot and they're all standing there just ready. I tuned into it again and then they were all kind of relaxed and they had their gun down on the ground. You know how they hold it from the tip. But then today I'm looking at it again and they're all in position with their eyes on a target, which I assume is this administration. So yeah, so that is something I've been seeing. Oh, jeez. Okay. Okay, I know. These guys, they're just, it's so ridiculous. And again, Don Julio and Netanyahu, the only way they can stay in office is with a war. And Don Julio likes this unpredictability. And we all know he was going to escalate things everywhere as his madness and his narcissistic injury was exposed. He is so majorly triggered. And oh my gosh, the other thing today with this new moon in Libra, suddenly his energy felt totally different to me. I was like at the store and it was like all of a sudden, like, you know how in the South they would use like a handsaw as like an instrument and they would bend it and it makes that warpy noise. That's how I was seeing him, kind of like can't walk straight, but he was more fluid, almost reminded me of one of those, like when they're having a big sale at like a car store and you have those flags that blow up, but they're like a person. He does not feel solid. And I think that is Saturn coming back into watery Pisces. Okay, so let's get to this new moon because I can go all over the place because so much is happening. But I just wanted to take this one thing at a time. How are you guys doing? Yes, we're going to hold our light. I know. And isn't it interesting that we have Mercury, Mars, Neptune, and now Saturn are all in water signs. We have Jupiter in Cancer. We've got this grand trine water. I think, is this the first round of it? And it's very interesting in how it's playing out on many, many levels. And now he's like having his little war out at sea. So this new moon in Libra, I'm not going to talk about this whole new moon. I just want to talk about certain aspects and where we can put our focus, okay? So this new moon was at 28 degrees Libra. It's 29 degrees is the final degree. It has a very anoretic quality to it of endings. Can you show me what is ending? What is ending here? What is ending here? Mercury mind. Oh, wow. These are our commitments and agreements these are the agreements that Donald has with everyone. It is his stupid memes. It is the internet. It is his orders. It is, my goodness, it is people. It is children. But this is what's coming to an end. The way and how all this crap is happening. And we have Mars and Mercury in the first house. So Mars and Mercury in Scorpio, I described that before, is kind of having like X-ray vision, being able to see things you couldn't before, in speaking this is very much about speaking one's truth. And with Mars and Scorpio, it's watery, it tempers that fire, and oh boy, it gives you the ability to hover over the target before striking. And just as I was thinking about that, hovering over the target before striking, I am seeing all those generals with, okay, why am I seeing all the generals with that? Because of the destruction that is going on. Remember, Scorpio lays down the gauntlet of, I've had it, it's time to end this. And in Washington, D.C., this is all about speaking your truth. Not only with Don Julio and then going and being aggressive wherever he is. This includes not only the residents, but it includes the entire government. The entire government, everyone there who's leading or not leading, can't get away from this truth that has to be spoken and has to be yielded to. And with Mercury's long transit through Scorpio, nobody's going to be able to get away from it until like the end of November. Okay? So, the truth. Show me Republicans and their truth. Republicans and their truth. Ooh, air, communication. Look we have a grand trine here. Do you see that, the grand water trine? I'm showing air element. And it's like these are the branches of government, and just with this symbol separating from the top. I can't believe how symbolic this is. So the top of this triangle, we have Jupiter, 24 degrees Cancer. That's the United States Mercury. It's in the ninth house of law, lands far away. They're watching what's going on as these things get larger and larger. It is trying here's the trine of Mercury Mars, the truth of what's going on, and the other end has to do with the occupant in the office of the President of the United States. Let's get some. I know we were going to do new moon wishes, but I got to look at this. So, the devil. They see the devil. They see their devil. Okay, so let's just look at this. Jupiter, the people. This is the Republican Party and the law. This is them speaking their truth. This is the occupant of the White House. And this is them chewing off their arm. They don't want to, they really are not enjoying this. So I'm getting here, we're going to act like, yeah, we're doing this, we're not doing this. Say one thing, do another. How are we going to manage this shutdown? These are all the secrets we're keeping. The Ace of Pentacles. The money, the vote, the vote for what? And laying low. I feel like they are trying to take account of a vote to deal with this. What is this? Judgment. They are all judging what's going on with this. Horrible. They can't get away from it. Down here, the Ace of Wands, the Mercury Mars wanting to take action because the occupant in the White House is in the bed with the rusher and he's crazy. And this is how they want to separate themselves from him. Oh my gosh. The Eight of Swords. They feel bound up, but hello, this is speaking your truth. You can get out of that. So that absolutely is in effect. Let's write down an intention with that, because we have put our anchored our white light there. So what are we anchoring from this white light? I want my government, members, Congress, etc. They can't get away from this, you guys. To speak their honest truth about what's happening. What's happening. And to realize there's no way out. I want them to come to their senses and the betterment of our nation. Because their only option right now to continue down this path, everything is destroyed. And even if they destroy everything, they still can't get away from what's to come. I mean, it is like we're at the end of the line, okay? Our nation. I want them to reopen and release EPSI files and swear in AZ rep. Okay, so I want my government, its members, and Congress to speak their honest to God truth about what's happening and to realize there's no way out. I want them to come to their senses and see senses about the betterment of our nation. I want them to reopen government and release the EPSI files and swear the Arizona rep in and agree to remove DT. We know that he wants a World War III. It's not going to happen. He's going to try to provoke as much as he possibly can. Can you feel that? That is connected to, there goes my throat, that is connected to the energy we just rooted down into the earth beneath the east wing. Okay? So this new moon in Libra, it is about teamwork. I want teamwork to return. I want harmony to return and thrive on negotiating, the art of negotiations, the art of negotiating through peace, through listening, through brainstorming, and for all to be uplifted again for the greater good. With what's going on in DC and all the members there and people who lead, I want there to be fairness and equity. I want we the people to be the prize. I want diplomacy and tact and good graces to return. So I want all the leaders, I want teamwork to return. I want harmony to return and thrive on the art of negotiating through peace, through listening, through brainstorming for all, and to be uplifted again by their good work for the greater good. I want there to be fairness and equity. I want the people to be the prize. I want diplomacy and tact and good graces to return. I want people to speak up and call out wrongs and end the tyranny. 100%. Oh, here we go. This is more Libra stuff too. Has to do with your self-identity. Getting lost. This is so for the Republicans. I want the Republicans, and those being quiet, to regain their sense of individuality and release their codependency, appeasement, indecision, and aimless talk and aimless blame on the other. So I want people to speak up and call out wrongs and end the tyranny 100%. I want the Republicans, and, the Dems who go along with them to regain their sense of individuality, to not get lost in whatever that is that's going on, and to release their codependency with this, release their appeasement and their indecision and their aimless talk and their aimless blame on the other, the left. Okay, Purple Sky, I want him out of our house. I agree. You know what? Let's get this white shield around all that white light that we have anchored in the foundation there. Okay? And so we want I want the foundation at the White House purified and protected. What else is this about, you guys? I want the Constitution totally protected and all things unlike the Constitution rejected, ejected, and sent back to the dark, to where they came from. This is real. You can really feel the spiritual battle that we're in. When we have that Neptune and that Saturn and Aries, that is very much the spiritual warrior. But now that it is reversed and it's hitting a lot of points there, we'll talk about that. It's like everybody's eyes are open to what was people were glossing over and couldn't see just 6 months ago. They see clearly, and it's like they're backing up and they're re-seeing everything with clearer eyes and a clearer understanding as to what exactly is going on. There is furor everywhere. I'm not talking about the furor, but people are furious. Red states everywhere. And this is what's going to give life to going forward. So in a truly Libran sense, then, with people with our differences, you guys, we got to work on that. And this is not accepting them for their beliefs, but it's just coming together. So, I want a sense of balance in my community. I want a sense of harmony with those I disagree with, and for there to be mutual respect and pleasantries between us. I want a sense of sharing, freedom, optimism, tact amongst us. I want to laugh and enjoy comfort with all in my experiences. So, I want a sense of balance in my community. I want a sense of harmony with those I disagree with, and for there to be a mutual respect and have pleasantries between us, regardless of what's going on. I want a sense of sense of sharing, a sense of freedom to return, a sense of optimism to return, a sense of tact in our communications with each other. I want to laugh and enjoy and be comfortable with all and those whom I interact with and who are in my domain. I want a moon pie and a glass of milk and listen to the Grateful Dead. Okay. JC, I want justice for all the traumatized by EPSI. We're headed in that direction. So let's write one for that one. I want totally fair and balanced justice for everyone wronged by EPSI and GM. The pendulum has gone so far that way. We need this pendulum to come back and find its footing. I want our nation to find its footing on these horrors and oh, there she is. Have it balanced for the good, and intolerance for it to happen again. And all those victims totally protected. You guys, what was I doing last week? I think I was working on a teroscope with what was going on in DC. I think that was about the time that, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. I think that was about the time, like, the excerpts were being released from her book. And all of a sudden, I felt Virginia. Now I need a new name for her, because I'm sure that is getting axed out. But it's like she walked in the room and she was just so together, so like proud, like she did the work she was meant to do, she intended to do, and it was such a nightmare, but man, she has got herself together. It's like she had this roadmap and everything that she had to do, and she's not done. And she is just such an elegant, giving person. There is no pain. There is no trauma. It's her standing strong. And it's like, yeah, I got to go back to my posse now. And we're working on this. They are working on it. They are working on it. Okay, all your work, please add that to our white light. Can you guys believe that? Purple, I believe the book will be a trigger for the files. Yeah, they can't get around. They have got themselves at a dead end. There is just nowhere they can go because everything is shut down. This can't go on forever at all. Maria, I want respected integrity restored for the rule of law and the Constitution replaced I want a new Supreme Court. I want, add that to our white lights that we are putting in the foundation there with the new buildings and whatever's being transformed. I want actual justice. I want real judges. I want my leaders, courts, free from bribes, favors, and for them all to be ejected. I just saw like a plane where they eject themselves from the fighter jet. So I want actual justice. I want real judges. I want my leaders, courts free from bribes, favors, and for them all to be ejected who don't conform to that. I know, Maga will turn on him if he pardons Maxwell. They're already turning on him because of what's happening with Argentina and beef. And, I mean, the farmers are pissed. It's like they're all seeing things so clearly. What else did I want to do? So, in the USA chart, when we look at this Mercury-Mars combination, this is actually occurring in the 12th house. Where are my notes? And so the 12th house, those are like your hidden enemies, but it's like those hidden things that sabotage you, those things that you cannot see. And so, oh, this was so good. Where is my note? Is that it? Is this it? Nope. Just a second. best intention written out, and now I just cannot even remember it. Where did you go? Okay, well, it has both a leader and we the people in this space of sabotage. So it's like they're sabotaging us, but it's like we can also work on the hidden to come full circle with this. It's like we are straddling the unknown and the known. And because of the way Saturn has backed up into Pisces and everyone's got a clearer vision, it's like everyone sees what they're doing. It's like it all comes to light. It's like the gaslighting just cannot survive anymore under these conditions. The vertex of this chart, that's kind of where this is. I always say it's kind of like where synchronicity happens, where opportunity happens. Well, in this chart from this new moon, it was 22 degrees Gemini. That's Donald's sun, and that is in the area of life and death. It is also the United States Mars. So there's activity brimming here, and I've already seen Donald as being very weak. And on the cusp of this space where we're having this happen, this setup, is USA Uranus. Oh, and I'm seeing the guys lined up with rifles again. So it's like Uranus surprises, sudden things happening. Between the 7th and 8th house, partnerships, opposition, and then those who you do business with, those who are in espionage. It's like something is really, really opening up here to pounce. What is going on here? There goes, my throat is just going cuckoo right now. Show me this vertex. What's the context of this vertex? The wound. The wound that's been caused by so much theft and sharing of personal data. It is also the United States Mars. What is USA Mars planning to do? Go overseas. Donald's sun is there. He's very energized by, is this overseas? Is this the law? No, this is more overseas. Mars. Mars. Pointing at Don Julio. Down here is the unexpected. The United States of America. I just love when this happens. We are a Cancerian nation. So this Mars, with this lunation, this cycle, we have Mars pointing at Don Julio. Something's coming in hot and fast. This 8th house. Something very synchronistic is going to be happening, coming hot and heavy. The 6 of Wands. This is the 6 Wands mob. These are all his dudes. You know, 6 Wands mob, and let's just throw in Argentina and all them now. Death, change. So this is Mars. Mars is coming in hot and heavy. There is definitely an ending here, hitting Donald. And this is the unexpected. USA Uranus. You have the Empress, the Queen of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the Ace of Cups. This is unexpected information that we're getting from overseas. And I think this is the agreement with the Russia and everything that he has gained. This is going to be a sudden shakeup. And now all those guys with the rifles, they are just standing at attention, like they've zipped their mouth shut, quiet, and now I can't see them. You guys, something is going on. What's going on? The law, the ninth house of faith, and this is their oath. This is all about their oath. You guys, something's happening with this lunation related to that. It has to. It's been set because this lunation, even though it's a new moon, there is so much, again, eclipse energy all over it. Because with Saturn retrograding into Pisces, there goes my throat. The last time that happened was at the new moon solar eclipse last March. So Saturn itself, and now Neptune is there. I'm sorry, Neptune is now in Pisces too. And what it is doing, I'm definitely getting a really, very much a healing sense. It's like this Neptune is dissolving all those. There's such a spiritual quality with what's going on with this grand water trine, and it's really here to help the people. What's this Neptune dissolving from? The last eclipse, because at the time of that eclipse, that's when Don Hollywood was talking about sanctions on China. That's like, I think the markets were falling. What else was happening then? What else was happening then? It's so, okay, I don't know where it is. Okay. Okay, Neptune is healing this for the people. And everyone has clear eyes and an open heart. Holy crap, these are the secrets. Escape. We want to give up our escapism. You guys, write that down. Write that down. I want to release my excessive escapism and embrace the radical healing that's afoot. And that's what Neptune is going to be doing into next year. And I'm very happy about that, because I'm like, I don't know if I can wait until March for it to go back into Aries, because that was really clobbering Don Holio. But this is, okay, so Pluto, remember, Pluto purges, it detoxifies, it heals, and it transforms. Neptune dissolves, heals. There's a spiritual nature to it. I just got it's healing recklessness. So what's coming for the healing for USA? An abundance of healing. Look at that, Jupiter. And Neptune being in Pisces, Pisces modern ruler is Jupiter. And we have Jupiter sitting over we, the people. And we have that in trine with Mars and Mercury hovering over the target, working very hard to get to the root of things, laying down the gauntlet. And this setup is because it's picked up in all this eclipse energy again, and it's in this grand trine where you can't tear these things apart. It's like ingrained, and it's like we're all going to go through this journey and be healed together. Healing this for the people. Oh, look at that. The people, the 11th house, and our friendships. This is giving us a chance with our friends and our allies. It's, again, that law of grace that we don't have to fight so hard for that. It's like this is a coming together, absolutely. Marie, we need a lightning bolt. Delphi and foreign markets are falling. Yep. Wow, your ascendant is 29 degrees Pisces. Water energy to flow movement, and it's emotional, it's undeniable, and like air feeding fire, things happen like this. With water, things take a little bit more time. Yes, I am so looking forward to the healing that we so need. Okay, let's take a 3-minute break so we can come back and figure out what we're doing. So we can wrap this up. 3-minute break. You know, I think that East Swing is a final. Well, I'll tell you why. Okie doke. Okay. This is what I think is happening. Hi you guys, how are you? Welcome back. 3 minutes. That went by quickly. I find this energy of this moon a little bit dizzying. I like that we are at this final degree of Libra for her to do her final work and the scales of justice, because now the sun is going into Scorpio, and this is when things are going to get really serious. There's no denying it anymore. What I think is happening, there's 2 things. The one thing I have my eye on is Dark Moon Lilith. It is at 23 degrees Scorpio. Remember, that point in the chart, that is where the moon is the farthest from Earth. Okay? And so if Earth and the moon are that far, and you think about the child, because the moon also represents the mother-child relationship, I find that with Dark Moon Lilith, that's where we are our most vulnerable, because it's like we're the farthest away from protection. We're the farthest from home. We're the farthest away we can be from help and support, and we are just left to the elements. And I feel like this is going to hit a tipping point, especially when we get to this 23-degree mark of Scorpio. We're going to have Mars and Mercury going over this quite a bit. And this dark moon Lilith represents all those awful things this administration is doing to people, doing to our capital, doing to our Constitution, doing to our reputation, destroying it all, killing things, hiding things, isolating things, stealing things. And it just feels like it's coming to a great big head as we get closer to this 23-degree Scorpio. And what's going to happen, I think Mars might be traveling with this dark moon Lilith point in tandem. And oh, you guys, 24 to, oh boy. Where's my pen? You guys. 24, where's Taurus? I don't know if you guys recall, when Mars went into Scorpio, I kind of outlined the timeline for what Mars was going to be working on in the next 6 to 8 weeks, and it was going through the bottom of the chart of the United States. It was really working hard, and then the second half of its journey, it would be on defense for the nation. Well, this dark moon Lilith is conjunct the bottom of Donald's natal chart. So we are in this energy that is tethered to everyone. We want the scales of justice. Everyone is clear-eyed, bushy-tailed. They see what's going on. And we've had it with the occupant in the office of the President of the United States. And so this dark moon Lilith, if it's distant and it's far away and it's being abandoned in my, oh boy, where's my ring? I wonder if this is when he gets abandoned. Let's get the ring out. Hello, ring. Hi, Jeffrey. Will dark moon Lilith be a pleasant transit for Donald? No, it is not going to be pleasant. Is dark moon Lilith and Mars going to shock him at his core? Is the Republican Party going to abandon Donald during this dark moon Lilith transit? Are they going to abandon Donald? That's a big ol' yes. And dark moon Lilith also represents the victims. And because Mercury and Mars are going to be traveling with the victims, everyone's going to see the truth about it all. So it's not like she just gets her book released and that's it. No, this stuff is here to stay with the way the eclipses have been set up this year. And this is where they get their voice. It's going to be awful ugly, but it's going to be the clarity of it all. And it's not going away because Mercury is going to be retrograding again. Okay, you guys? Does that make sense? Marie Sutton, when does this happen? Well, it is 23 degrees right now, dark moon Lilith. At this, where is it right now? It is 23 degrees, 25 minutes Scorpio. So I would say by the end of the week, it will be 24 degrees Scorpio. I have And I think this is why it's been so difficult, because just this overall icky, yuck, horrible, gross feeling, just all of the worst has been here for months and months and months. But there's going to be a change in that. And I think that's really related to Dark Moon Lilith and her position. I believe Dark Moon Lilith stays in a sign for about 8 months. Let me see if my ephemeris has it. Let's see. Boy, oh boy, this is not going away. Okay, here, where are we? Do you have Dark Moon Lilith? No. Well, wait a minute. Let's see if we can, I'll look at the south node, because it's, no, that's not going to be it. Okay. I don't know. We have to look for some dates with the transit of Dark Moon Lilith in Scorpio. But if Scorpio lays down the gauntlet and Scorpio uncovers everything to be revealed, and now we have this Mars, Mercury speaking truth, facts, and is going to be a warrior for that. In this grand trine, this stuff is going to stick. It's going to be really, really powerful. And again, I just saw Donald walking around like I described the saw earlier in the South, how they use that as an instrument because of how bendy it is and the sound it makes. That, you guys, that is him. I feel like this, whoopsie, sorry. This Saturn retrograding, let's just look at this real quick. Saturn retrograding back into Pisces and Donald's health. This is Saturn retrograding back. Oh man, Donald's health. Oh boy, sixth chakra. I just saw him like his head just kind of flop back and his eyes closed like, ooh. And the seventh. Saturn and Pisces. Oh boy. So, the Ace of Pentacles. How does this affect his health? We are at the very basic, essential things caring for him. Like I'm saying, like pills, but these are just essential things trying to preserve him at his core. Oh. A lot of rest. Working really hard on keeping him going. Three of Wands, signaling abroad, signaling to people, signaling everyone out there. Like get your affairs in order is what I got. So this is Saturn going back into Pisces now. I mean, Neptune going back into Pisces. Oh boy, Empress. So if this is Neptune affecting his health, Neptune is supposed to dissolve things. The Empress is full of stuff. Venus, gross. I just, there's just like clumps. He's very clumpy, and okay, shield. This isn't Russia. This is like clumpiness in his body. Trying to stuff him with pills and stuff. Oh boy. So how is this going to affect his health? The first chakra, Queen of Pentacles. It's a body full of stuff. Congested, the first chakra. Elimination. He can't pee, you guys. The second chakra, we have the Three of Swords reversed. Oh boy, is that the genitourinary tract? Sorry, excuse me. The small intestines, that maybe the colon. Three of Swords. He's got a real big problem here with circulation, you guys. Maybe it just stops working. The third chakra is your gut. Oh boy, the High Priestess. What's going on here? The gut. Boy, is he having problems with his whole system. His whole digestive thing. There's toxins. And trying to eliminate toxins and drugs. 1, 2, 3, 4. The heart. Oh boy, that just does not look good. The Five of Swords reversed. It is really stuck. It's kind of like at a crossroads and not getting enough oxygen. Oh my God. For the fifth house, the throat. Oh my God, there's the Six of Swords. Things just aren't metabolizing right. Things are backing up. Things are not moving fluidly up and down the body. I think he's having a problem eating. I told you guys, when I had this car in my hand, it was kind of like he snapped his head back. He's in the sunshine and his eyes are closed and he's like, ugh. And he's done. The Nine of Wands. Getting to the end here. Oh, fire, wands. So they've been downplaying his health. He is this close to being done. And his seventh chakra, I would say that might be an angel. But a judgment is upon his body and health. Holy crap. So we're going to enjoy this Neptune transit in Pisces because there's a lot of healing for us, but not for thee. Oh boy. What a hot mess that is. Okay, you guys. How are you doing? Eighth house is so septic, maybe they'll pump those national security secrets out of the Mar-a-Lago system. Yeah, Electra, he's being held by strings and clips. Oh my gosh, there's such a delay here. Okay, so that's that. The other thing, the one last thing I'm going to point out here with this new moon Libra, you guys, obviously I don't do this like other people do when they give you these long descriptions on what's happening. I'm just trying to go with the energy and the aspects and how these things are playing out and their touchstones. So this caught my eye right away. This is in the skies of Washington, D.C. There goes my throat. We have 17 degrees Leo. With the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, I don't like that marker. Oh my gosh. I might just use this. So in 2020, January 10th, 11th, 12th-ish around there, and it was right after an eclipse. Remember that time when they they killed Soleimani? That's within the week of when that eclipse happened. So that's kind of what was going on around the time. So what happened then, we have the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, and this is, Saturn-Pluto conjunctions happen every 36 years. But this one in particular, in Capricorn, with Jupiter, in Capricorn, Uranus in Taurus, we have all this earthy stuff happening. We haven't seen that. We've only seen this like 3 times, 2 or 3 times I can count, basically, with this kind of setup. And, you know, it's kind of like the fall of Rome happened, the fall of like Egyptian dynasty. This radically changes the structure and power of government. This is a radical change, and you can see how governments are changing around the world, and they're going far right. Capricorn leans conservative. But after this happened in 2020, it booted Donald from office, and it booted Bibi. Okay, so now we have this new moon eclipse, and on this day, the moon was 17 Leo, and it had a really strong tie with Zelensky. But I find it very interesting that at the top of this chart, we have 17 degrees Leo. This speaks to me, now that I just said Zelensky, this whole Russia, Zelensky, all that stuff blowing up, and the world order. What's in the skies over Washington, D.C. with this new moon lunation and the new world order? Oh, moon void, of course. Okay, this came up with Speaker Mike Johnson because he's just void. He's just like a void. He's not doing anything. Nothing is happening. So in the skies, that's what we see. At the bottom, with world governments, world structure of power, we have the provoker, Don Julio. And that is, and then we have the people. So we, the people, remember I said the sun moon is this combination, or no, the Mercury Mars was in the 12th house in the USA chart, and how the sun moon combination, it kind of sabotages both of us. Well, it's like the people are waking up, demanding things, speaking truth, and we have these two who are facing off. What something's got to give, because you got Pluto right down there too. What's going to give? Increase. That is government opening. That is government opening. Something has to give. Something will give. So, so that is that. These are all the energies we're riding on. There are more to be had, but just wanted to point out those two extra things. Okay, you guys. So this was a very interesting powwow together. Remember, your white light, you take that with you this whole lunation. When you're in the good feeling space and you've got your shield up, know that you are contributing to, even though it's been demolished in DC, you're already participating in the rebuild and the essence of it. And we are all part there together. So when you're feeling devastated, think about what your intention is to grow there and how you want government to look. Okay? So you guys have a great evening. I'm glad I got to see you guys, and just be steadfast. Be careful out there. Just get your stuff done. Please get it done by the beginning of November, okay? So that's it. That's it. I'm not seeing you guys. I want to say good night. So, good night, fellow forest dwellers. Cynthia, good night to you too. We'll talk to you guys later. Okay, bye.